Anyway, Juan, I have the highlight reel queued up. Would you
Okay.
like to
All
see
right.
some highlights from
From that game,
the
sure.
game? And
Yeah.
again, I just want to throw out there to the good folks at YouTube or anyone else who might have any ideas. There is a clause of the copyright law in the USA about fair use, which if you commentate, you are allowed to use bits and pieces of it. So take that, YouTube, and you fancy lawyers.
Yeah.
Just because I said that one, I'm gonna get a letter. We're suing you for $10 million.
Don't take those $10 million lawsuits lightly, my friend.
Oh yeah, you know what? Then I'll go to Harvard Law School and defend myself against the $10 million lawsuit. There you go. I'll be. You always said I should have been a lawyer, Juan.
It's never too late. It's not too late, Brandon. You got plenty of time. I
I
really
don't
think
think
you should consider
my
it.
GPA is high enough to go to Harvard, to be honest.
Well, but you know what? Some of the best lawyers didn't go to Harvard. So get into the law school you can get into
The
and take
question
it
is,
from
of
there.
course, you have to be able to argue, because if you can't argue, then you're not going to make it as a lawyer,
And you
basically, no
got
matter
that
what.
nailed, my friend. You've got that nailed. So you're all
I could
set.
debate. I could debate all day and
Yeah, I
not back
know.
down.
And you're good at it. That's why I'm thinking you should seriously consider a career
I
in the
should
law.
start a debate club at my college.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
Be the
Keep your chops
president
up.
of the debate club.
Yeah. If they
New
don't
York
have one,
Yankees are better. No, Mets are better. No, Yankees are better. No, Mets are better. See, the problem with arguments like that is, of course, sports is purely subjective and matter of
it is.
opinion. Of
It
course, you
is.
could
Yeah.
put in stats on there, but like you said, you could
Right.
skew stats any way you want. That's
You
what a lot of
can.
people don't
You
think.
can.
People think, you look at stats and you're like, it's just numbers. Numbers don't lie, right? But you can nitpick certain
You can
stats
manipulate
and
numbers.
cherry
Yes.
pick.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah.
that's what the media loves to do that a lot. They love
Oh,
to cherry
absolutely.
pick stats, but they don't
Absolutely.
tell you about the other stats that contradict those stats, because there are
Yeah.
a lot of stats that contradict other stats.
Sure
So it
they
all
do. Yeah.
depends on how you interpret
Yeah.
said stats. But anyway, before we get off on that tangent, I
Right.
got the highlight reel queued up. I think you're going to like it when it gets caught up. I have the little YouTube screen below us. I think it looks
All right.
really good.
Okay.
Uh, Actually, you know what? Could you switch to the low latency player if you're not already? Because that's going to be a lot quicker. And I would like to kind of have your take on these as they happen almost.
All right.
I think your connection should be strong enough to handle it.
It should be.
Of course, watch the second you switch to it, the whole browser goes kaput.
Nope, I'm good.
Oh, you're good? All
Yep.
right. Here we go. So this first one, Juan, is the Luke Voit error. Do you remember when I told you about that one?
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
and I do have a video clip, albeit blurry. Maybe I'll play it anyway when
All
we're
right.
done here,
Okay.
just so you could get fan reaction. Because my
All right.
videos are good for the fan reaction.
Yeah.
But anyway, here's the play. So essentially what happens is he grabs it, he throws it, and the guy who's on second makes zero attempt to get it. He literally just stood there and looked at the ball. Did you see that? I don't know if you saw that. I can play it again. When we get there,
Yeah.
I'll
Right.
freeze it.
Right now, I'm
Right?
still seeing a still image. I'm not seeing the video,
Really?
the full motion video.
Are you sure?
I'm
Because
sure.
I see it on the old player
All right.
on my end. But how is it looking over there? Can you see us moving?
We're choppy,
Choppy? Well,
and
we'll
the
have to
video
live
is
with it.
too.
But can you see the point where I have paused on there?
Have you paused the video?
Yeah, I paused the video. So now it should be frozen on there. But I paused it at a point where kind of where the error happens, because you can see the ball kind of to the left there. It's a little blurry.
Okay.
But then there is the second baseman, or not second baseman, because the second baseman was near first base, right? Because there was a shift, I think, on. So I think this is the shortstop that's supposed to be covering second. And the ball, so what happens is he looks at the ball, right? The ball comes past him, like right here, and he doesn't even attempt to get it. Like zero attempt. Doesn't even try to knock it down, doesn't react. He just literally watches it sails by him. And the person in front of me, which we could see from my video clip later, was literally like, what was that? What was that? So the error
Well,
was...
The question is, could he have made a play?
I mean, this throw was pretty dead on. I think
Yeah.
if he'd have reacted, he could have. Now, granted, this happened very quickly, but when
Right.
you look at my video, you could see he's looking right at the ball as, Voit throws it. Now, granted, he's doing it quickly because this is a double play ball. And,
Okay.
you
Okay.
don't
I have to
really.
ask again, because the video that you shot with your camera, of course, was from up high, and it may have appeared he was looking at the ball. Maybe he didn't see
Well, why
what
don't we
you
watch
think
this
you're
highlight
assuming.
again?
Okay, let's take a look. Sure.
Because
Yeah.
I am of the
It's
opinion that this guy should have had it. I mean, he was
right.
looking
Right.
right at the
Yeah, I got
ball.
you on that,
At the
but
very
maybe he
least,
couldn't.
even
Maybe he
if
couldn't.
even if at the very least the one, if he couldn't catch it,
Yeah.
he could have at least knocked it down. There's no
Okay.
way. He
Yeah.
had plenty of time. Look at it. He's at the
Yeah.
base. At the base, he does
Okay.
nothing.
Yeah. See, I'm not seeing like full motion video. I'm seeing choppy
See, yeah, you
video.
must not. You must be one of those that's having an issue with the low latency. You have to have really good connection for low latency to work. So
2 hours later.
I'd love to
Because
think
see,
that you thought he
I
could
think
catch it.
sometimes we're a little unfair to ball players when we assume that they can do something and maybe they can't.
But
Because
to be
the
fair,
circle, if you're watching from the stands or on television, you're not seeing everything from their perspective. Now, you played ball, you know that.
now I do
Have
get
you
now
ever
on the
been
one hand,
booed for missing a grounder or something, or
I
missing a
never
throw?
made it past Little League, Juan. If there's one thing you know
Oh,
about Little League, they clap at you even when you stink because they don't want to make you feel bad.
all right. Okay.
It's like a
I
rule
got
of
you.
Little League. But
Okay. All right.
but to be fair, I think a professional. There's also the thing of you're a professional baseball player, and that's a
Oh,
routine.
that's
It's a
right.
routine play. Now,
That's right. You're a
mind you.
Yankees fan. I
Now,
forgot. You have the high
also, Juan,
expectation.
I just want to point out he is the
Yeah.
shortstop, right?
Yeah.
But he is naturally a second baseman, so that's
Okay.
2 strikes against him. He's
Okay.
not even a natural shortstop.
Yeah,
Many
yeah.
Yankee fans have said he hasn't done well at shortstop. They should
Yeah.
move him back to second, but they can't because
Okay.
they have DJ LeMahieu
Right.
at second. But
Okay.
he should have been able to make that play, I think, and knock it down, do
Okay.
whatever,
Yeah.
even if
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah.
make the play. But you don't just
Sure.
sit there and stare at the ball
Yeah.
as it sails past you.
Yeah.
I feel like if he'd have at least reacted or made an attempt,
Right.
I could
right.
forgive him.
Yeah.
But he literally, his
I would.
hand
Yeah.
didn't
I'd
even
have
move.
to see the play. In real time.
I can send you the
And-
link to this video if you'd like. I'll probably post it in the chat too later
Okay.
on.
Yeah. Because maybe if I see it in full time, I can get a better.
Actually,
handle
you
on
know
it.
what? I'll send you the link, and then I'll tell you the points to go to. How's that?
Sure. Sure.
Go to the Zoom chat. I'll post it there in 1 second.
Okay.
While you're doing that, so that everyone doesn't get bored, I'm going to move on to the next one, which
Oh, go
was
ahead.
actually a really good play, which
Right.
I'm very disappointed. This one I didn't capture on video. So
Yeah.
I went through all my videos, and I realized that I think I stopped recording this inning
Right.
like one batter before this play happened. And I was very mad because if I'd have kept recording it, that would have been one hell of a good thing to capture. It was a
Gotcha.
really good play. And this is one of those watching this highlight reel is one where I agree with you about your point where sometimes we think players can do things that they can't.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when I watched this play live time, it was a great play.
Uh-huh.
Everyone was excited. But I had a thought in my head like, yes, it's a great play. But did he really have to dive to first? Because what happened is he
Right,
dives
right,
to
yeah.
first base to make the out.
Uh-huh.
And my thought is, was that really necessary? Could
Yeah.
you have just flipped to the pitcher? And then when I look at this
Gotcha.
highlight reel, the pitcher is still like a foot and a half from the bag when the runner touches the
Right,
bag. So if
right.
he'd have flipped it, he would have been safe.
Yeah.
So looking at it in a more real-time view, a better camera angle, I realize really is one hell of a play, and he made the right
Mhm.
call.
Yeah.
But I was thinking to myself, what are you doing? Why not just flip it? Why take the risk?
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is why I'm not a professional baseball player and that didn't make it past T-ball league.
Mhm.
So do you have the video up now?
Yeah, I've got the video. So
right.
how far?
If you want to go to point 118 on the video, that's the Luke Voit
Okay.
error that we were just talking about a
Right.
minute ago.
All right.
So 1 minute 18 seconds. You could
Okay.
also start it at 117. Doesn't really matter.
Okay. You're being unfair. You're being unfair. He made his move toward third base before the ball got to him. He didn't see it. If you look at it real quick, you can see he doesn't see the ball. He does not see the ball.
But he should have.
He doesn't, though. He doesn't. Regardless of
what
what you think, look at the action. He made his move before the ball came his way. He doesn't see it. He does not see the ball.
See, but I really think, all right, so I'm just thinking from a perspective of, you're a professional ball player. Runner on first, there's a ground ball. You know it's going to the first baseman, right? You should be looking at the first baseman waiting for that ball to come to you. So if he's not seeing it, that's his own fault for not looking.
Regardless, he doesn't see it.
The worst thing for me is that they scored that on Voit, the first baseman, but his throw was spot on. You can't argue his throw was spot on to where it should have been. For getting that double play ball. So for me, the error should have been on.
No. See, you're.
All right.
Now,
it might have been. It was mostly spot on to second
and
base.
I'm not seeing the same thing that you're seeing.
It's mostly. Are you going to say that was a bad throw to second?
Yes,
I mean, that was pretty.
Yes, it's a bad throw to second, Brandon.
I don't know. It's off by like that much. It's off by that much.
That's a bad throw.
I don't know.
It's not even near the bag.
What are you talking about? It went right over this guy's shoulder.
Look at that video.
It went right over this guy's shoulder.
It's not even close.
We're going to argue about highlight reels, guys. I told you guys are going to get your money's worth on the show here today.
It's like, that's a bad throw. That bottom line, it's a bad. That's why the third baseman wasn't looking. He just assumed the throw was going to go to the second base and take care of the runner, and it was a bad throw. It's on the other side, the wrong side of the bag.
Hold on 1 second. All right, now hold on, give me 1 second, guys, because now my thing's getting a little crazy. The video on my end, that is. There we go. This is the video that I want. Stop misbehaving as we. You know what? We should get now people are watching this YouTube ad for eBay.
Yeah.
I think we should get a portion of the profits from that.
I agree with that.
Because, we just put it in front of more people for them. But I don't know. I just feel like I watched it live and Yankees fans are on my side. Granted, it's a completely biased opinion. That's a fair.
Of course it is.
That's a fair point. It's a completely biased opinion.
But what I'm seeing, it doesn't agree with what
as an
you
outsider
saw in the live split second that it happened. It's like if you look at it again, objectively, and I know that's next to impossible for you as a Yankee fan, because I'd be the same way as a Cub fan.
But I don't know.
It's a bad throw.
Freeze. All right, let me. If you go to 121, freeze the video right there, and you will see the ball is almost lined up with the bag. It's off by maybe a couple inches, but for me, it's still a very playable, catchable ball to any person who's ready for it.
Brandon, watch the throw.
I did. I'm watching where the ball placement of the ball is.
See where the guy covering second base is, and see where the runner is, and see what the third baseman, why he's breaking, because he assumes there's going to be a successful, accurate throw to second base to get the runner. So he's going to cover third just in case. And the throw never has a chance.
But if he'd have been paying attention, he could have got that ball.
He was doing his job.
He was not doing his job.
Supposed to do, because he assumed that the first baseman knew how to throw the damn ball to second base to get the runner out. And
but look, he's standing right at the ball. Look at where the. Are you paused at 121? Because if you pause at 121, you'll see its ball is almost, at least from this camera angle, almost perfectly aligned with the bag. Almost.
Then we must be looking at a different. We're looking at a different video then.
But moving on, move to 205 on the video. This is the good one.
Okay.
This is the Luke Voit diving play.
Uh-huh.
And I've decided we'll get through this highlight reel. We will watch a couple of my videos, maybe just one. Yeah. Then I will tell you what happened to me on the ride home on the subway, and then we'll end the show with you telling us your first time going to a baseball game.
Okay. All right.
All right. So are you at 205?
1 second. Let me get there. 205.
Actually, start at 204. It's even better.
Okay, yeah, actually I'm at 204. So
all right, so we'll start playing now.
Now this was the play that you missed getting a video of the replay, right?
Yes, I unfortunately missed this one.
Right,
no, this one wasn't the one where I missed the replay. This one I didn't record it live, but I saw it happen live, and the energy and the reaction of the fans, they went wild, man. They loved it. But this one was the one where my reaction when I watched it live was that while it was a good play on his part, it wasn't necessary. When I saw it live, I didn't think it was necessary to do it. But, of course, when you're watching things in real time, you're making split-second decisions, which what separates an amateur
like
from a professional.
We're talking about.
But it's very good. It's easy to criticize someone watching on a slow-motion replay later. But you have to realize they weren't watching in real time in slow motion, you know?
No, they were like trying to execute the play.
So, and even in one of these, just watching this replay, I realized from a different angle, from a better angle than my seating position, which you can't argue. People didn't even see where I've seated yet with the video, which is why I want to show it. You can't argue for $25. My view is actually decent.
Not bad. Not a bad view at all, actually.
But yeah, so that was that. And you got to say, that was a really good play by Luke Voit. I think that made up for the error. Would you agree with that?
Okay, I just played that in real time, and I don't know how you don't make that play without the dive.
Yeah, well, you see, you got to understand, when I first saw it, I'm looking at it from a bird's eye view from the back. And so it was hard to tell exactly the distance from the pitcher was from the bag. On the replay, yes, I agree with you.
Based on where you're seating, I can kind of see that. But from here,
yeah. So in my head, when I first saw it, the pitcher looked like he was closer to the bag than he was, and I was like, "It's a good play, Voit, but you really could have just flipped to the pitcher." And then I look at the highlight reel, and I'm like, "If he'd have flipped to the pitcher, he'd have been safe."
Yeah.
You know? And a run would have scored because at this point, I believe bases were loaded.
This was clearly the right move, and that's a great play, actually.
Yeah, I think he made up for the error, don't you?
Yeah.
All right, so now
learn to throw to second, damn it.
Go ahead. To be fair, this was his first game back from injury.
Oh, that's right. And what was wrong with Rizzo?
He was on the COVID IL.
Oh, okay.
So basically nothing was wrong with him, but he was forbidden.
Both plays 9 out of 10 times.
Basically, there was nothing wrong with him, but because of the rules, you can't play.
Sure. Rizzo makes the accurate throw to second base.
Yeah, sure. Totally non-biased opinion there.
You'll find out.
To be fair, Luke Voit is known as not the best defender. That is a reputation he has. So.
And Anthony Rizzo has a platinum glove. That's all I'm saying.
But anyway, can you fast forward your video to 410?
410. Okay.
We're skipping ahead a little bit here, aren't we?
That's all right. Okay, I'm at 409. I'll give myself a little.
All right, yeah, that's fine. That's where I'm at too. So we'll start now. This is the one where, remember when I said the second baseman, his hand hits the bag at a bad angle and he injures his hand?
Okay, yeah.
Or Gleyber Torres, the shortstop, rather.
Right.
You know, the guy who was supposed to make that play earlier? That guy.
Yeah. Bad throw.
You see here, got a good hop, and then you see immediately you could tell something's wrong. This is how we knew when he walked away from the bag.
Yeah.
I got a video, and this is where I actually stopped recording, was I got a video of him with the trainer, and you could see, did you see where his thumb went in? Like his thumb got mashed into the bag. But
do they have a close-up of that, or?
Let me see. I'll back a little bit. If you go back to,
you can tell something's wrong as soon as he hits the bag. I mean,
if you go back to, let's see, hold on, I'm pulling it up. If you go to about 4:27, 3 seconds later, they'll have the slow-mo.
Yeah, I'm almost there. So let me go ahead and let it play. Yeah, here we go. Oh my God! Yeah,
thumb goes right into the bag, full speed.
Yeah.
That had to hurt.
Oh yeah.
But the funny thing is, they kept him in the game here for a little bit, and then they took him out the next inning.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, you can finish up running the bases. You don't need your thumb for that.
Right.
All right. Now, the next one we're going to jump to 749. Now, bear in mind, the rest of these, I do not have video for, except for, as you know, the challenge play, which is the last one we're going to look at.
Right. Okay.
But we're jumping to 749.
749. Okay, I'm there.
All right, I'm not there. All right, there we go. And I'll put a link to this in the video in the description for anyone who's there. Oh no, I got an ad. No.
Oh jeez.
I hate ads. Oh nope, but I got to see the play first. So, did you watch it yet or no?
I'm watching it for the second time here.
All right, so the only reason I showed that one, you're like, what's the big deal? A standard ground rule double play, right? Well, the reason I said I showed that, A, it's the first run of the game, not by the Yankees, unfortunately. But also, I didn't know it was a ground rule double for a few seconds because, bear in mind, it hops in the right field, stands there right by the foul pole. Oh. Bear in mind, I'm 2 decks above this.
Yeah.
It goes in almost directly above where I'm sitting. So there is no feasible way I could have seen it, right? Unless I was in those stands with those fans. Sure. So I was looking around and I was expecting, to see runners running full speed or a throw going in there. And they were just all casually just jogging home. And then in that moment, about 5 seconds later, my brain was like, oh, it must have jumped the fence and been a ground rule double. That was the only explanation. Yeah. Sure enough, that's what happened. Gotcha. But I didn't know this was, at least even then, I didn't know it was actually a ground rule double until I got home and watched this highlight reel. Yeah. I figured that's what it was, but I didn't actually know. Yeah. All right, now we're going to get to the juicy stuff. You thought we already saw the juicy stuff, didn't you?
All right.
Now jump to 0.08. Or 0.07, close enough.
Okay, hang on. All right.
All right, you there?
I'm there.
All right, let's start playing together now. This one is an argument/ejection. Debatable call. Do you think that's a strike? If you go back, they're showing it again here.
Oh, wait a second. Did you give me the right place to go to? You said 007. That's
007/008. It's the next pitch.
Okay.
Sorry, no, 807. 807.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought
that was my bad.
All right. Okay.
All right. So
and going all the way back to the beginning of the video.
Yeah. Go to 1 minute and 8 seconds. We're going backwards.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
So 808, and then you let me know, because this was an argument over, the Mariners thought this wasn't a strike. He got called out, punched out for strike 3. Right. It's kind of at that area where it's umpire discretion. Some might call it a ball, some might call it a strike. What do you think? I think it's a strike, but of course I'm biased here. You're the third party here.
Well, let me. Okay, I'm gonna bring this up full screen and take a look now. Okay, because I looked at it twice, and
you're going to be our outsider view guy.
I could see where this could be open to debate, but let's look.
Yeah, I think it really is umpire discretion here.
Okay, now if we assume that those little rectangles that they put up to represent the strike zone are accurate,
which they're not always.
Yeah, the ball, according to their little graphic,
is a ball.
Supposedly just barely brushes the top of the strike zone. So this could give the Seattle Mariners a good argument.
But here is, and there's another video of a guy who does like a analysis with a computer of based on the axis of what's considered a strike and a ball, but you can't actually break this down until after the play happens because the computer can't do it live time, and that's why we still have human umpires. And he said that this was a strike.
Wow, I agree with you, Mike, but according to the box, that's a strike.
He needs to stay in the ball game right now.
Sure does.
while they show replays before the ejection actually happens, this is a wonderful time to illustrate another problem with MLB's computers for balls and strikes. Two different systems come up with two different conclusions for the same pitch using the same data. The overlay system on top of home plate in real time thinks it's a ball. The computer 3D regeneration over on the side, that's the box that's sponsored by Emerald Queen, thinks the pitch is a strike. The computer numbers themselves also think the pitch is a strike. One final note about the problematic zone: data points are captured at the front edge of home plate. This pitch had sinking action, as all pitches do, beyond the front edge, but the data, because of technical limitations, will not show that.
He said it wasn't a strike.
So the umpire made the good call according to the computer, but of course, again, we're doing this in real time. The computer is not. It's analyzing it after.
Sure.
So
exactly.
you can look at it later. Hindsight's 20/20, as they say, right?
That's the problem with this. Hindsight is 20/20, and frankly.
And even watching the replay again, one person might see that as a ball, another person might see it as a strike. It's really up to the umpire's interpretation here, right?
That's why umpires get paid what they get paid.
But what's your initial ruling? If you had to make, based on this replay, if you had to make a call on that, ball or strike?
My first instinct would have been that it was a strike, and part of that though goes to my old school upbringing. The strike zone has shrunk since I was a kid. It used to be up to the letters, and if you notice, the box only goes up just above the waist.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. The box doesn't take into account for the player's height, because technically the strike zone, at least the way my understanding of the strike zone is, it goes from the shoulder to the knees, right? That's how you an umpire
not
would
the
look
shoulders,
at it.
but the letters. So it's just below the shoulders, from the letters in the uniform, the top of the letters in the uniform, which is like basically
shoulder height,
just under the shoulders to the knee. That's the way I interpret it too. However, but baseball has not been interpreting it that way. They've been interpreting the strike zone as from just above the waist to the knee. They've shrunk the strike zone.
Well, the box also doesn't take into account for player height anyway. It's just a set box, and that's the problem with the box. But
no, they do. The box is not controlled by Major League Baseball. It's controlled by whoever's broadcasting the game.
I know that.
And they adjust that box for the player's height. They do.
Well, let's move on and let's watch the argument, because there's going to be a good argument.
I think it's a strike, but I understand.
I agree with you, but again, I wanted your opinion because you're the outsider here, and I am completely biased to the Yankees. Whatever favors the Yankees, I'll go with.
In this case, I think you have a valid point. It should have been called strike.
But so I don't know if you saw that the ejection there of the manager. It was actually a player and manager ejection. I remember I was in the stands watching this live, obviously, and I remember everybody was booing the manager the second he came out to argue this. It was boo!
Sure.
Right?
Well, that's what you expect.
Then they were like face to face, like definitely not following COVID social distancing whatsoever there. But the manager actually let him go on for a lot longer than I thought. And then eventually I knew an ejection was coming, and I was like up there going, throw him out, ump. Throw him out, ump. And of course,
Service, by the way, former Chicago Cub catcher, has this in common with a former Yankees manager, Joe Girardi, also former Chicago Cubs catcher.
Miss Girardi. But so then of course the ump throws him out, and the whole stadium, yay! Good job, ump. Because of course this is Yankee Stadium here. If this was Mariners Stadium, the umps would have been getting booed.
Totally different reaction.
That's the home field advantage there, Juan. Aside from the bottom of the ninth is how the fans react.
Yeah.
And of course, in Yankee Stadium,
I don't blame the batter and service for arguing it, but it was a strike, I think.
Well, the manager only came out to argue because the player argued on his way off of the plate. The ump threw him out, and then the manager came out to defend his player, because that's the manager's job. He has to back up his man.
Sure.
Now, if we move on to the next one, which is...
However, a smart manager would have done a preemptive strike.
Yeah, he would have been out there getting ejected first.
He would have come running out to protect the player and taken the hit.
Before he got ejected.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. He was a little bit late to the punch there.
Yeah, which is why Scott Service is no Joe Girardi.
All righty. Now, let's see here. All right, now if you want to go to 840, we get to the bread and butter, what I consider to be the bread and butter of this game. And this is my favorite part. And this is the challenge play. This was the challenge play where the Yankees challenged it and it got overturned. Of course, you've seen in the test show my video where my bad videography missed the replay. There is one thing I don't like about this highlight reel, and that's the view they give you. You can't really tell if they're safe or out.
Gotcha.
I could tell you from the replay we saw on the scoreboard at the stadium, you could tell clear as day he was out because it was facing the other direction, right?
Okay.
But if you fast forward and rewind this one a million times, you can't tell if he's safe or out because the runner's body is blocking the tag.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this gets overturned, and the fans go bananas, as you can imagine, because instead of it being a 3-0 game, it's now 2-0.
Right.
This was another one of those where Yankee fans were like, yay! And if this was Mariners Stadium, you would have heard, boo!
Sure.
You suck-ups! But I tell you what, in Yankee Stadium, there is no voice louder than Yankee Stadium. Than Yankees fans, of course. As you would expect. So, there you go. What did you think of that highlight reel?
Okay. And there's no angle from the other side.
There's no angle on the other side in this video. I tried to find a better one, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
Which makes me hate that I didn't get that replay in my video, because my video would have been way better because you could tell like within 3 seconds of watching it that it was out.
Yeah.
And everybody in the stadium knew it because that's as soon as they played the replay the first time, you hear, yeah, because everybody knew it was going to get overturned.
I wonder why MLB, I'm assuming this is an MLB.TV package.
Well, that was the Yes Network view, I believe.
This is Yes Network? Why wouldn't they have access to that other angle, though?
They did. I don't know why they didn't show it.
Yeah.
Or, you know what? But this is an MLB highlight reel, so they might have cherry-picked.
Well, see, that was my question. If MLB put this highlight reel together, you're right. They may have cherry-picked it for some reason.
And they chose the terrible one, mind you.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to show you.
I remember you showing that other angle, and it was clear that whatever the outcome was going to be, there would be a clear, the best shot.
The best view. It was the best view.
Exactly.
I'm going to pull that one up anyway because for one reason, because of the fan reactions. You can't get that from a TV.
Right. Okay.
All right. So we're going to show that despite my bad video photography, which I apologize for and deeply regret. Oh, I'm going to have to unmute the...
Oh, he's out already. He's out. He is out. Definitely out. Overturn the yards. Good challenge, Boone. Good challenge.
It doesn't matter whether or not I mute the mic. There's going to be an echo.
Really?
Yeah, because it's going to feed back. So,
when you watch this on YouTube later, be sure to watch it, I guess.
Yeah.
But the fans went absolutely bananas for that. Now, there's one other video I'm going to show, which is the Luke Voit play.
Okay.
Which, again, now I want to warn you guys, it starts off a bit blurry, and then it gets about halfway through the play, which is about, where the good stuff happens, it gets clear.
Is this the bad throw?
The bad guy on second base not doing anything. The guy on second base not doing anything. But watch the reaction of the guy.
Oh no!
The Yankee fans.
Shoot!
The Yankee fans agree that somebody should have somebody.
It was the first baseman.
Voit, by the way, is his name.
He's Anthony Rizzo's backup.
Actually, he was is the starter. And
I know.
So, and you know what's funny?
That's why I'm
Luke Voit sucked.
because clearly
Luke Voit.
he's a step down from a
Luke Voit.
platinum
But listen.
champion first baseman.
And then, but then Rizzo's bat stopped hitting when he came back, and Voit's has not. So
Rizzo's a streaky hitter. He's gonna cause
can
some
you
sleepless
see this
nights
video
for you.
on here?
It's still like choppy.
You're gonna have to watch the recording later, I guess.
Yeah.
But you could see the guy's hand in the video. The guy in front of me, his hand goes like this. Like, what was that? And of course, you can hear all the fans booing, too. I think there was even one guy in the row behind me who shouted, "You suck, Voit!" Of course, he shouted that every time Luke Voit came up to... Of course, because... but actually, he shouted that later because Luke Voit came up to bat like 3 times and struck out twice and flew out the 3rd time. So he wasn't helping in the offensive department or the defensive department.
Right. Can he play the outfield? Because he sounds like a future candidate for left field.
No. And I wouldn't want him to play the outfield because he is injury prone. Very injury prone.
Okay. All right.
Let's just say that he's been on the IL 3 separate times this season. And that's not his first run in with the IL either.
Well, I'm warning you. Anthony Rizzo is going to
I don't want you to jinx us.
Because he's a great defensive first baseman, but he's a very streaky hitter. You're going to be screaming at him at times.
All right, so I just have to do this one real quick. I just have to do it because Andy, Twilight FM, just called the show boring, so this goes out to you. We're going to get a royal slap, not as good as Josh does it, but still a royal slap. Have you tried a royal slap yet, Juan?
Yeah, I did, but not terribly.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's see your royal slap because I missed that segment. No, wait, hold on. I gotta fix Zoom first.
Oh no, I never did it on camera.
Oh well, you're gonna do that now. We got to get that out of the way.
Well, it's probably not going to work because of the video that I'm seeing. It's very choppy, so it's not going to.
Well, no, just go ahead and do it on cam. You know how it goes.
Not going to work. Not going to work. We'll save it for a time when the video.
Oh come on! Stop trying to. It's okay if you suck. Nobody does it as good as Josh.
Well, yeah, it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
I think you're just scared.
Oh, jeez. Just not going to work.